Hi guys, welcome to today's episode. This is episode 3. I hope you enjoy. Today we'll be talking about mastering your money with Purity Kibe.
Hello everyone, my name is Purity Kibe. I'm the founder of Tribe LTM, and today on episode 3 of Make It Easy podcast, we'll be talking about mastering your money, and I hope you enjoy. Investing comes under multiplying money. Yeah, because investing is capital multiplication, but saving is capital preservation. So that saving is under managing money. Things like budgeting, expense tracking, all those are under managing. Because people think budgeting is a lot of work, but budgeting is simply telling your money where it should go, rather than wondering where it has gone.
Is it investing or saving with your partner, that is your boyfriend or your girlfriend? Do you think, I think I kind of know your thoughts on this, but what are your thoughts on opening a fixed saving account or investment, whatever, with your partner? Do you think it's advisable, or is there certain things that you need to do before that to ensure that, in case the relationship
in a very, in a very tough spot,
will not come for you?
So when you
This is the second time we're having Kibe here, and we're so excited to have her. Hi, Kibe.
Hi, Shalom.
Hi.
Thank you for calling me for the second time.
Tebu kwanza waambie we didn't plan too much.
Imagine we didn't.
And this is not for real.
Honestly, we didn't plan to wear black and white.
Uko poa lakini? How you feeling?
I'm feeling so excited. I think it's an honor to come back for season 3 for the second part, to talk about what I love. It's such an honor.
You all love Kibe, and this time we are going to be pulling your edges because we have to master our money. Our topic today is mastering your money. But before that, we have some icebreaker questions.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you were to win 1 million shillings today, what would you do with that money?
Definitely I would. Some of it I would invest it, specifically in treasury bonds. I think the other part, most of it will go into investing, then part of it will go to my family, my parents. I think they deserve it more than anyone else I can think of.
I'm listening to your answer, and then I'm like, maybe in my head I was already thinking, I want to buy a car. I want a car. Well, of course, first of all, we tithe before the Christian people come for me. We tithe 10%, we tithe, and then probably buy a car, and then invest.
Hatuko same.
Hatuko same. Yeah, not same. Question 2, how would you rather have a secure job that does not pay so well, or have a side hustle that pays really well but the income is not guaranteed?
Have a side hustle.
Have a side hustle.
Yeah, have a side hustle that
does not pay well.
That doesn't pay well.
No, the income is not guaranteed. Like you can get a job today, maybe once a month.
I would rather have that than work for someone or something else that, even though the income is good,
it's kidogo.
Yeah. So I think that's the dream of every entrepreneur. That's the reality of every entrepreneur, because I'm one. So there are days that you're up, there are days that you're down. Yeah.
Plus, I'm thinking if you're doing it as a side hustle, and you have another job, it's something that you actually really love.
Especially because you have called it a side hustle. It's something that you really love.
Yeah. All right. If money was not the subject, money has to be the subject.
Money has to be the subject.
But if money was not the subject, what is that one thing that you will do without ever feeling tired?
This is funny because what I will do is talk about money. So I'm like,
okay.
Yeah, because even what I do it not because of money, or not because I will earn any money. It's because I do it because I love it. Yeah. So even in moments there's no income guaranteed, I'll just continue doing. Talking about money, teaching others about money. Yeah, that's what I will continue doing.
Even if money was not involved.
Yes.
Okay. So, what did you last purchase that made you regret deeply? What purchase did you last make that you regretted using money on?
The last purchase, okay, let me see. I think it will be it will be, oh my God, is it now clothes? No, clothes.
The last time
not,
you here,
not
you said you once were an impulse buyer.
It was a certain beauty product that did not go as expected. Yeah, like I bought it, I did not read the guidelines and everything, so I just bought to try it, which I did not
like it.
Liking it.
So for me, it will be a clothes. There's a dress I bought soon.
Yeah, clothes can really disappoint
kwanza zile za online.
I know you shop online, you love shopping online. I think I stopped shopping online when I recognized that no one specifically has my sizes, especially waist and all. So I just go for the custom. Yeah.
All right. So let's now we are done.
Thank God.
Ulikuwa nervous. So Kibe, what do you understand by the term mastering your money? When you hear mastering your money, what comes to your mind?
I will say mastering your money means 3 things. When you are able to make money, when you're able to manage it, and when you're able to multiply it. And I think that's the theme for the Tribal TM Financial Literacy Curriculum that you guys have heard of. And you guys
for those who have not heard about it, tell them about it first of all.
So it's a financial literacy curriculum, a 3M framework, meaning we teach you how to make money, to manage money, and multiply. Because we saw that many young people, yes, they know how to make money, but the rest parts, they don't know how to manage it, they don't know how to multiply it, right? So we wanted to incorporate all that into the curriculum so that we can ensure that we cover everything that you really need. So it has 3 phases, and it's a program that runs for 8 weeks. So currently we are done with we are almost done with cohort 1, and cohort 2 will be starting next month, March. Yeah. So that's what mastering your money. If you could ask me, that's what I think it means when you're able to make money, and not only to make it, but you can go a step further and manage it. Not just manage it, go a step even, further, and be able to multiply the money that you're making. Yeah.
I love what you're saying, because I think the problem comes when we are making money, especially like young people. You find someone is like making a lot of money, but in the next few years, in a few months, and you ask them where is, like, you cannot tell if this is the person who was getting.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, nowadays young people are making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I sit down and I'm like, okay, guys, let's be serious. Where exactly is the money? Because people, nowadays people are starting startups, people are starting businesses, side hustles, brands, which are bringing in quite a lot of money. But I don't think as young people, as the Gen Z, we are yet there when it comes to financial education, to financial literacy. There's still a lot of work to be done in that space. Yeah, a lot.
So when you're able to make, manage, and multiply, that is
when you're able to do those 3, I think you have mastered your money properly. And the hardest is always to manage money. Because even when I teach it, it's one of the biggest but it's very interesting. One of the biggest phase, how to manage your money. It's such, we will teach you about the psychology of money, being able to understand your money trauma. There's something like money trauma, being able to understand your money personality and how to handle it. So it's such a huge thing, which I think that's why many people find it hard to manage their money.
So I'm wondering, does spending and investing come under managing and multiplying, or multiplying, or where does spending and investing and saving come, Sasa?
Investing comes under multiplying money. Yeah, because investing is capital multiplication, but saving is capital preservation. So that saving is under managing money. Things like budgeting, expense tracking, all those are under managing. But investing, shares, stocks, bonds, are all under multiplying money. Yeah.
So will that also be your definition of financial success? Or do you have a different definition for financial success?
So financial success, I think it's personal to everyone, because for some it might be, when I ask you, are you financially successful? For some it might be as long as I am debt free. Then for someone else it would be as long as I have an income every month and a guaranteed income, it's okay. For someone else it might be as long as I have investments. So it varies from person to person, but how I will describe financial success is when you are financially educated, that you can be able to make financially informed decisions. Because I don't think you can make proper financial decisions without financial education. I mean, we have also seen people who are wealthy, people who are rich, people who have a lot of money, even in this country, but the decisions they make concerning money, there's an error, exactly. So I don't think financial success can be complete without financial education. So it's financial education plus financial wellness equals financial success.
So what is financial education? Is it when we enroll in a program like Tribe LTM and you get to learn about money, or what is financial education?
Financial education, which financial literacy is the same thing. It's a never-ending process. And even when the first cohort, I told them that even when you'll be done with this program, I want you to know there's still much work to be done. Because, you know, I can't teach you everything for 8 weeks. We can't provide everything. That's why you need to be able to do your own research as an individual. That's why it's called personal finance. It's very, very personal because what works for me as Purity might not work for you as Shalom. So you have to understand what works for me and not just following the crowd and following other people. So financial education is so large. Being able, even after you have been taught all those concepts, even when I teach you how to budget, I want you to make it practical in your life. Because I have taught many people, you know, how to track your expenses, how to budget, how to save, how to put your money in shares. But I need you to go a step further and now let it be practical in your life. If I teach you how to put money in a money market fund, you better go and open an account so that it can be very practical to you, right? So that's financial education. Then financial wellness is when you have money, but you have money to the point that you are now living a very peaceful life. Because the people who have money, but they are not peaceful, right? So financial wellness, which is also very huge and large, it's all about being able to understand money psychology, understanding your money psychology, understanding why you behave certain way when you are around money or when you're talking about money, and understanding your money personality, because we all have different types of money personalities, and being able to address the money trauma that you had while you were growing up. Because a lot of people have money trauma right now and they don't realize.
What's money trauma?
Now, for example, there are 5 money personality, and you might find out that you are a hoarder. Now, a hoarder is someone who is neither saving nor investing. They just have money. Someone who has money only in their M-Pesa. Yani they have not put money in their MMF or any investment. They just want to see they have money. When they check their account, they just want to see they have money. That's a hoarder, because why don't you want your money to earn interest? Why don't you want your money to multiply itself? Are you afraid that money might not be there tomorrow if maybe you invest? Are you afraid of taking risk? So for someone like that, we will have to go deep with you and understand how did you grow up? At your home, did your guardians teach you about money? Were they teaching you about how to save or invest while you are young? Was there any family financial trauma? Like maybe, certain families go through bankruptcy, divorce, which cause financial loss. Even not only childhood background, even right now you might go, because there is something called money manipulation, financial abuse. If you go through that, it will really affect how you think concerning finances. And you won't know sometimes why you are maybe overspending. I was telling them that when you overspend right now as an adult, it might be because there's a certain item that you are not provided for enough when you are a kid.
So you want to fulfill that.
So you want to fulfill that desire. Maybe when you go to the supermarket, there's a certain product that you must always buy. Maybe it's because you are not provided that. Yeah, so it's important to understand your money psychology and all that. So financial education plus financial wellness, I think that makes up financial success.
And I think most people don't think of financial wellness as a thing. We only know of mental wellness, mental wellness.
Exactly.
So when you speak about finances and wellness, does not,
I think it's also a reason why we recently launched a product called a financial wellness guide. So it serves as a financial therapy to you. So it takes you through everything. It helps you reflect a lot when it comes to your personal history with money, because again, personal finance is 80% psychological. Those that have read the book on the psychology of money understand that it's a lot to do with your psychology and how you are brought up. So the guide helps you to understand your background. It helps you to analyze your current financial status, and it helps you to plan the way forward. So that's all about the guide.
Okay, so I'd like to know how can a young person especially, how can you stay disciplined with your money, especially when there are so many things there's so many priorities that you need to give to your money. Like you see, as a young person, there is, so many things that zinahitaji pesa. So how are you able to know this is where I should put my money? There is black tax also involved. As we are growing older, black tax is also involved. How do I know where to put my money?
How do you know where to put your money? When we were young, I don't know which grade we were taught this, needs and wants, the difference between needs and wants. I just wish they had told us that it's a concept that we will use when it comes to personal finance. Because when I look back, I now understand why they taught us some things in your life are needs, others are wants. And now when you have that knowledge in mind, even when you're budgeting, now many people don't like hearing the word budgeting because it's very traumatic, because people think budgeting is a lot of work, but budgeting is simply telling your money where it should go, rather than wondering where it has gone. So that's simply what budgeting is. So if you want to be good with money, if you want to tell your money where it's supposed to go, then you have to budget. And before you budget, you have to know the difference between needs in your life and wants. So there are things that many people think that they need them, but they don't need them. They are just, they're just desires. I usually tell people, if you can live at least more than 24 hours without and you have not bought it without it and you won't die, then that was probably
a want.
That was probably a want, and you did not need to spend much money on it, right? So I think when you, in your life, you have to sit down and ask yourself, in my monthly expenses, because before you get good at budgeting, by the way, there is a process that you have to go. So you first start with tracking your expenses. Then tracking your expenses will help you understand your money habits. So it will help you understand what do you mostly spend on in a month. So maybe it's transport, it will show you. Maybe it's clothes.
Can you like manage? Is there a way you can do it from your phone or?
Yeah, I mean, we are in a digital era, so things have been made simpler for us as a young people. I don't know if our parents know this, but there are digital apps that people are coming up with which are making financial literacy easier for many people. So there is an app you can use to track expenses called the Money Manager. It's on Google Play Store. It's on, you can go and search it, install it, and just, I think I also mentioned it last time.
Yeah, you did.
Go and download it and make sure you put the notifications on so that it can always remind you each time you spend on something. It reminds you to put the expenses in that app. So after a month or maybe after a week, depending on how you track your expenses, it shows you the percentage of each category. So it will show you maybe transport, you're using 20% of your income. It will show you maybe food maybe hapo unatumia 60%, maybe skincare it will show you 15% and so on.
So skincare 15
or maybe more, for us girls. So after you have been able to track, you are able at least to sit down and say, by the way, maybe this one is not it's not a need, maybe it's a want. So now I can be able to reduce it in my budget. Maybe for transport, it's too much money, so maybe what I need to do is maybe reduce it so that maybe my savings can be more. So you can't budget without tracking your expenses. So you have to track your expenses, then create a budget. Then after you have created a budget, go back to tracking expenses. So it's a cycle. It's a cycle that you have to continuously do. So tracking expenses is when you are able to monitor where your money goes. But budgeting is telling your money you should go here, you should go here, you should go here. Yeah.
And I think the problem is that the way we have just said, like young people have a lot of money, but we don't know where it goes. Unapata, like let's say for example you have received your salary, your M-Pesa, and you this is a certain amount you have. You just using unalipa tu. In a few days time unaangalia like I am so sure I had this amount of money, but I don't. But I think now what I'm getting is that you need to be able to identify your need versus your wants. And sometimes there are so many things we spend our money on that you don't really need.
You don't need, because there was a time I was thinking for every new event I have to find new clothes. And I sat down and I was like, no, I have too many clothes on my wardrobe. I have to be serious. I don't need all these clothes. And events, they will always be events.
Sometimes you may not even get to wear.
Exactly. So I sat down and I was like, it was last day I sat down and I was like, not every event I'll have to buy new clothes. So I was like, that's definitely a want. And I've been thinking it's a need. Those are desires that I can reduce on my budget.
So you actually need to sit down, analyze
and
yourself,
do some self-reflection.
Yeah. Okay, so how can a young person save when they are not guaranteed of an income. Like you see, the question we're doing with the icebreaker of, what can you choose between a well-paying salary or a side hustle job. So for someone who does not have a guaranteed income, a young person who does not have a guaranteed income by the end of the month, how can they save? How do they even start saving?
Okay, I know. I'll start by saying the way we are always told you can start saving with as little as what you have.
Yeah.
Because right now, truth be told, there are places and there are platforms and even money market funds where you can start saving and investing with as little as 100 bob. There's a lot, right? And I also said it last time that you can start if you have money to go out with your friends, if you have money to pay for that event, which is not free, then you definitely must have money to save. But
yeah.
Now, there's something called the ladder of financial planning, which has 4 levels. So the first level, hapo chini kabisa, it's called financial insecurity. Then number 2, we have regular income, then financial independence, then at the top, wealth. So financial insecurity is where most young people are. Financial insecurity is where you don't have a guaranteed income. Many people who are maybe living with which is not a bad thing, you are living with your parents, they are covering for most of the expenses, you don't have a job yet, you are staying at home, you are financially insecure. So your main priority at that stage is for you to look for ways to increase your income. So for someone like that, when they come to me, I won't start by telling them invest in stocks, invest in treasury bonds, invest in this and that. I won't even talk to them about anything about investing, even saving sometimes. My main focus you are financially insecure, meaning you don't know if today you have income or you don't. Tomorrow it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed, yeah. So for that kind of person, I will start by telling you on identifying ways on how to increase your income, how to make money. You see, that's why our curriculum is so important. We have to start with.
You can't manage if you are not making any money.
What are you managing that you have not made? So you have to start by making money. And as you have said, young people nowadays have different ways of making money. But I love calling something monetizing your knowledge, whereby what you know, your passion, maybe your hobby, your talent, or skills that you have, you can be easily monetize them. And I think that's what a lot of people are now doing. People entering into digital content creation, people starting businesses, people starting, there's a lot of things that young people are doing. Get money, yeah. So when you are financially insecure at that stage, I will tell you, start by finding ways to increase your income. Maybe it's opening a business, starting any side hustle that you want, or finding ways to increase your income. And the truth that many people don't like saying or don't like being told is sometimes, in as much as we tell you to start saving with the little that you have, it's very difficult to tell someone to save who is living maybe hand to mouth. For someone like that,
what am I saving? It's not even a priority.
It doesn't make sense to tell someone like that to save money, because even when they save, they're not guaranteed maybe tomorrow they might not be alive because they don't have enough money. So that's why main priority at that stage, find ways to increase your income. Now the second is, after financial insecurity, now you have gotten a job, now you have a regular income. It's the second stage in financial planning. Now at that stage, you have maybe a job or you have a business which is bringing you income. It might not be monthly, but at least you're guaranteed this time you're getting money. So the main priority at that stage is you to be able to protect that income. And that's where I will now introduce something to you called an emergency fund. Because I want you to protect your money, which many people don't have emergency funds. They don't.
Tell us what an emergency fund is.
It was in the COVID era where financial consultants realized there's something called an emergency fund. Because if a pandemic...
That is 2020.
Exactly. Because if a pandemic can cause such chaos in the whole world, businesses were closed, a lot of people lost their jobs, people thought that there would be nothing that could stop business activities. But here comes, Corona, and it stops everything. And that's when people came up with an emergency fund. So it's a cash reserve where you put money specifically for unexpected emergencies. And so you only withdraw from it when there is an emergency. Not when you feel like, not when you want to buy new clothes or buy a ticket for an event. Only when
event.
Exactly. Because nowadays there are events everywhere and young people are the ones going. So, and I've been called to help you to master your money.
Yes, tell us.
An emergency fund, only withdraw from it when there is an emergency. Please, I keep on repeating, only when there is an emergency. And you can start from as low as what you have. So the best way to build an emergency fund is by using a money market fund. A money market fund. I keep on repeating money market funds. So money market funds are very low risk investment options, which I highly recommend for most young people, especially if you want to get started with matters investing. That's the first step I usually tell people. Start with a money market fund, then after some time you can explore other different options, maybe shares, bonds and bills.
Yeah.
So a money market fund is a type of a unit trust or a mutual fund that, in simple terms, because I don't want to complicate, it pulls money together from different investors like you and I. Then they invest that money on our behalf in different money market instruments. So they will invest that money in things like commercial papers, fixed deposits, treasury bonds and treasury bills. So that's the back end process of what happens. So for you, what you see is the front end process. So you only see your money earning interest daily, monthly, earning good interest. So that is what happened. So I usually tell people, if you want to build your emergency fund, you then put it in a money market fund, because one, it's very liquid, meaning you can easily withdraw it, from it anytime. And I mean, you don't want to put your emergency fund in stocks or shares where before you even,
it will take some
time. So money market fund is the best option. It's very liquid. You can withdraw from it. I think mostly some you can easily withdraw from them immediately. Some take 2 to 3 days. And also you can start money market funds with as low as 100 bob. There are money market funds which you start with 100 bob. Some the minimum investment is 1,000, some 5,000. So it depends, because there's so many. It depends on which one you want to use. And again, they are protected and regulated by the Capital Markets Authority. So before you invest in any money market fund, make sure they are licensed and regulated by CMA. Exactly, because people come to me and ask me a question that I don't like, which is the best money market fund? If you can't, it's like
it means you have not done.
Yeah, it's like asking me, Shalom, which is the best bank? I really can't, because some of us have more than one bank account. It's very hard, but there are specific things you can look at. There are so many. There are over 20 plus money market funds in Kenya, so you can research on any, and whichever fits you, you can use that. So that's the best place to build an emergency fund.
You know, as you're talking about money market funds, I've remembered I was having a conversation with some friends of mine about what is it called? Is it investing or saving with your partner, that is your boyfriend or your girlfriend? Do you think, I know I think I kind of know your thoughts on this, but what are your thoughts on opening a fixed saving account or investment, whatever, with your partner? Do you think it's advisable, or is there certain things that you need to do before that to ensure that, you know, in case the relationship
in a very in a very tough spot,
will not come for you?
So when you say a partner, I would really want to know the partner. Are you dating, or are you guys already married? Because those two are very different.
We are dating.
Okay, so you are dating. Why are you putting money together and you are still dating and no one knows, in case anything happens? Let's say in worst case scenarios,
okay.
Let's say something happens, maybe there's an investment loss or just anything. Or maybe you have separated, now you want to divide that money, right? And remember, you have put it in a joint savings account or in a joint investment.
See, there's supposed to be a way that you can be able to see that this is what this one has put, this is what this one has put.
Yes, there is, but because you have asked me, as Purity Kibe, guys, I would really not recommend you going that very extra mile when it comes to finances with someone who you are just dating. But you know, maybe when it's marriage,
what if you are getting ready we are preparing for marriage?
You can do that now when you're married. Okay. I think you can do that when now you have settled everything. Because I also don't, now this might sound very controversial. I don't recommend you telling, you're still dating early stages, telling them what you earn. It will affect even their thoughts when it comes to how they will relate to you. So if you want to be sure that you want to open to them, be open and tell them how much you earn per month. It really has to be someone that you are very sure. This one, you're going into marriage with them. This one, they are very mature when it comes to finances. Because imagine being open with them about your financial life, and they are very, very fast and stable mentally, emotionally. Something happens in that relationship, and you have already told them your PIN, your passwords, your accounts. it's just an error. So I guess for a scenario such as that, at least wait when you guys are married, when even the law of Kenya identifies you as a couple, right? So that in case of anything, I mean, people who have done law know that in case of anything, there's a way they can divide maybe your investments and such things.
But then I think what also I'm thinking is that even before you start to get to that point as in a relationship, you need to already know the kind of money personality. Yeah.
Even for your partner.
Yeah.
I usually tell people, if you are in a relationship, which is not bad, take time to talk about money with your partner. I mean, always talking about which is your favorite meal, which is your favorite, movie, color. We have more important things to discuss. Talk about it now, because if you don't talk about it now, it will catch up with you later when you guys have already married, when you guys maybe you have kids if you want, and you did not address the financial side of this relationship. So maybe when you are going for your dates and on, you can be open with each other if you have gotten to the stage where you trust each other and you are seeing potential, right? Talk about money, ask them about their money personality, ask them how they were brought up, so that you can be able to understand if this person is a spender or a saver, why are they like that? Why are they sometimes they don't want to spend money on? Because sometimes your boyfriends don't want to spend your money on you because it's a money trauma and people don't know. So you have to sit with them and analyze and understand. Then if you are financially compatible, and you say that you can make it, in the marriage side, it's okay. But when you see there's an error, you either say it earlier or you talk it out so that you can know, okay, so how are we going to move on from here? Because finances, money is such a very big cause of people separating in divorce in many families. And it's because they did not address it in the early stages. So if you address it as early as now, if you are seeing a potential, talk it as early as now so that you can be able to know if something happens when we are already together, we are already married, when we have kids, how can we address certain things? Because things like splitting bills, also not only in marriages, even in friendships. Friendships is also another sector where I see many people have a challenge when it comes to being open. I don't know why people still feel talking about money is a
friendships.
It's a very big thing. It makes people really uncomfortable. I don't know if your friends know how much maybe you earn or how much you have in your savings or investments. A lot of friends don't know. And I've seen a lot of friends breaking up because of finances, because of money. Someone borrows you money, they don't return back at the specified date. So yeah, talk it out with the people around you.
And even your family now. When it comes especially to things like black tax. Can you tell us a bit more about black tax and how we can
I think now when it comes to black tax, I really don't want to use the word evade because I don't think you can still evade it. But when you are giving your parents money, when you're giving your parents, your siblings back at home money, why are you giving them? Is it because you are being forced, or it's because already black tax is already in our minds as Africans, so you are expected to do it? It's an expectation already. Or is it because it's out of love, it's out of I just want to support them wholeheartedly? Why are you doing it? So first is understanding why you're doing it, your financial goals. And also if you have normalized money conversations in your home as a family, then I think it can get to a point where if you don't have, it's okay to tell them, but then this month I don't have enough, but when I get, I'll be able to give you. And I usually say also no is an answer. If maybe unaona enyewe wamezoea, this time wamezoea, you can also tell them no. And you see, that's the importance of having money conversations and making them normalized and being very assertive when it comes to your money. Because Shalom, it's your money. You are working for it. So no one should be able to master it for yourself, right? Because we are talking about mastering your money. You have to master it. Don't just do things because the society or your family has expectations from you. You have to be able to understand, why am I doing certain things with my money? So when it comes to black tax, I would recommend understand why you are doing it. Don't just do it because it's a culture in African countries. No. Nowadays, by the way, as time goes by, it's reducing because nowadays young people are very enlightened. They just want to do things because the society
people are doing it. I'm curious to know, how do you define financial independence?
Okay, so I remember we were looking at our ladder. Our
Yeah.
ladder
We
financial
were
planning. Yeah. Then so we have covered financial insecurity, then the regular income. Now after you have regular income and you have already built your emergency fund, meaning if in case something happens to you, you'll be able to sustain yourself for at least 3 to 6 months. You'll be okay. Even without working, maybe you have encountered a job loss, you'll still be okay. Now the next stage is financial independence. You know, many people say, I'm financially independent, but they are not. Because the real meaning of financial independence is having enough assets, income generating assets, such as maybe stocks, shares, bonds, or enough income streams, not one, because one is not enough to be financially independent, more than two, at least more than two, to the extent that they can sustain you without working. So financial independence is what leads to financial freedom. So you can't you can't say you have attained or achieved financial freedom without first being financially independent. Because now when you're financially independent, you can't, sitting at your home without doing an active job, because you have certain income generating assets that
you don't have to be
there. You don't have to be there. They will just give you money. Maybe you have a real estate projects, you have put your money in shares, you are assured, and you have more than one income stream, you are assured. So that's financial independence. So I want to ask you, before you say you are financially independent, have you reached that level where you don't have to work for months or weeks, even an year actually, but you are assured, even when I don't do anything active, money will still come to me. So you can maybe travel and live in luxury because you are financially independent. And then now after financial independence, the last stage is wealth. Now wealth is where you will be able to build generational wealth. Then you have
just
too
for
much.
you.
For you, it's overflowing even to your generation, to your children, to the children of your children, and so on. So you see, even before you say you are wealthy, you might be rich, but not wealthy.
Not wealthy.
Because for you to be wealthy, you really have to be overflow, abundance.
Your cup is overflowing.
Your cup is overflowing even for generations to come. You have gotten to the level where you are financially independent and surpassed without debt.
Without debt.
Yeah, for you to be wealthy without debt, remember. Because if now debt comes in, it's not that debt is bad, because there's good debt and there's bad debt. But be able to
what's the difference? Debt is debt, I think.
There is good debt when you use it, or when you take a loan, maybe from a bank, and you use it maybe to start a business or invest in an asset. So you are investing money, you are taking a debt to invest in something that will bring in more money. Now bad debt is where I see people taking a loan or borrowing their friends or family money, maybe to to just live in luxury, maybe to sitaki kusema to attend an event.
Umekuja kwa event sana.
I won't say. No, something else, maybe to just buy clothes or just spend it on
a want.
Yeah, I want, maybe spend on maybe a vacation or a birthday, something that will not bring in you money. That's why you see borrowing loans is not a bad thing. People borrow loans, but when you take debt, make sure you are investing it in something that will bring you more money even than what you took. Yeah.
There's this phrase, usijinyime ati una save. So I'm curious to know, how do you balance the desire to live comfortable today with the need to plan for the future?
I think for you to plan for the future, first of all, you have to know your current. So you have to be, as we have said, you have to be very honest with yourself. You have to sit down and analyze your current financial status. Meaning you have to evaluate your income. Where is your income coming from? Do you have businesses or income streams that are bringing you money? You have to evaluate your debts. Do you have any debt around? Do you have someone that you owe them money? You have to analyze your savings or investments. Do you have any saving? Do you have any investment? Now, when you have evaluated that, you are able now to take the next step. Because, for example, when it comes to saving, I tell people, don't just save with a goal. So when I tell you to save with a goal, it's called goal-based savings. So there are two types.
Not just saving.
Yeah, so there are two types of goal-based savings. One, which I've explained, an emergency fund. Yeah. Then the next one is a sinking fund. So this is another type of a goal-based saving where you are specifically saving for short-term projects. for any financial goal that you have, just imagine of any financial goal that you have, you can create a sinking fund for it. Maybe I want to plan for my birthday next year, I will create a sinking fund for
graduation.
it. My graduation, I will create a sinking fund for it. Maybe you want to start, let me say, beauty and skincare for the girls here, you can create a sinking fund for it. So when you have a sinking fund, you are able to reduce your chances of taking debt from others because you have already planned for it. And you are also reducing your chances of taking money from your investments. So leave your investments alone. Let them work on compound interest because you already have a sinking fund. So also you are also reducing your chances of taking money from your emergency fund.
That one is only for emergencies.
Only take and withdraw money from your emergency fund when there's an emergency. So those two are important. I would advise you have both of them if you can, and differentiate. Also, a sinking fund, the best place is to put your money in a money market fund, because you can put your money in a money market fund or in any other place, but obviously an emergency fund, you have said, a money market fund, a place where you can easily withdraw money when you have an emergency. Yeah. So I think when you have those two goal-based savings, it's easy for you because now you have already evaluated your current decision, your current financial status, meaning you are able to plan for the future. Because if you have sat down and said, by this in investments, now my next step maybe will be to research and learn more on things like shares, things like bonds and bills, and be able to analyze, so where am I investing? If I have seen currently I don't have savings, I'll be able to ask myself, why don't I have savings? Is it because I don't have a regular income? Is it because I'm afraid of saving?
But you've even said, even for those people who don't have a regular income, there's a way that you can be able to...
Exactly. So you are able to know the next step to take. Yeah.
All right. I'm curious to know, as we wind up, what's one money advice that you wish you knew a few years ago or when you were younger? Ukijua everything about money. Money.
I started saving when I was quite
7
young.
years.
Yeah. Oh, you remember? When I was quite young. And I appreciate my parents for bringing that culture in our home. But I think another maybe financial or money lesson I hope or I wish I would have learned earlier is how to differentiate my needs and wants.
Your wants,
that is a thing. It looks so simple, but I have struggled with it even as an adult. Even as a financial coach, I still struggle with it because I don't know now, is it a need, is it a want?
How do you know what is a need or want? Is it zile tatu zenye we were taught in
food,
shelter, clothing? That's all. Hakuna events.
Then wants me, things. If you can not be with it for 24 hours, maybe you have thought of buying something,
survive,
and you still survive. If you don't die, imagine it's a want. But not something like food, water. You really have to buy them. So I wish I knew that.
Events.
I go to events in Senikuji. I'm just
for you.
It's shallow. Yeah, so I think I wish I knew that earlier. Yeah, because saving, I already knew it. And I wish I knew that. It would have helped me to be better when it comes to budgeting.
Knowing your needs and wants. I love that. So we've come to the end of this episode. Thank you so much for coming again.
Part 2.
Yeah, we were so happy to have you, and I'm sure we have learned a thing or two, and even you there, I'm sure you have learned something. So thank you for coming, and can't wait to have you back for the third time.
I will be here.
For the third time.
If you call me, I'll answer. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was our time today, guys. I hope you have a lovely day. If you have not subscribed again, subscribe. Have a lovely day, week, and bye.